If your feet tingle at night, if your hands go numb for no obvious reason, or if you feel a burning, stabbing, or electric pain that no one seems able to explain, stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to share may explain exactly why your nerves are suffering, and more importantly, how to stop the damage before it becomes permanent. This is not about managing pain. This is about protecting your nerves while you still can. My name is Dr. Julian Cross. I've spent years treating seniors living with nerve pain, numbness, burning feet, loss of balance, and a condition many are simply told they must accept: neuropathy. And one of the most frustrating things I see every single day is how often people are given the wrong story about why their nerves are failing. They're told it's age. They're told it's genetics. They're told it's inevitable. In many cases, none of that is true. By the end of this video, you'll understand the single worst threat attacking senior nerves today, a threat most people encounter every single day without realizing it. And you'll know exactly what puts you at risk and what needs to change. Not someday, now. But first, I want to ask you one question, and I want you to answer it honestly in the comments below. Have you experienced tingling, numbness, or burning in your hands or feet? And did you know that blood sugar could be damaging your nerves, even if you don't have diabetes? Drop your answer below, because awareness is the first line of defense. And once nerve damage crosses a certain threshold, we don't get second chances. Let me tell you about a patient I'll call Thomas. Thomas was 68 years old, recently retired, still active, but his feet burned at night. His toes felt numb during the day, and sometimes sharp electric pains would shoot through his legs without any warning. He was told it was probably aging, maybe circulation, maybe just one of those things. But when we looked deeper, we found something else entirely. A daily exposure, something he thought was completely harmless, was slowly poisoning his nerves. When we removed it, the damage didn't reverse overnight, but it stopped getting worse. And for Thomas, that changed everything. So here's the question I want you to hold on to. What was that poison, and how many seniors are unknowingly feeding it every single day? To answer that, you need to understand something fundamental about your nerves. Nerves are not wires. They are living tissue, delicate structures that depend on oxygen, nutrients, and stable internal chemistry to function properly. Unlike skin or muscle, nerves heal very slowly. That means damage accumulates quietly over time. Long before you feel pain, tingling, or numbness, your nerves may already be under attack. And here's where things get uncomfortable. The worst poison destroying senior nerves is not something dramatic like industrial chemicals or rare toxins. It is not even alcohol. The worst poison is something far more common, something many seniors are actually encouraged to consume regularly. The number one poison destroying your nerves is chronic blood sugar toxicity. And this is critical to understand. You do not need to have diabetes for blood sugar to destroy your nerves. You only need repeated spikes. And millions of seniors experience those spikes every single day without knowing it. Here's what happens inside your body. When blood sugar rises too high, sugar molecules attach to nerve fibers and the tiny blood vessels that feed them. This creates inflammation, oxidative stress, and damage to the protective coating around your nerves. Over time, nerves lose their ability to send clean signals. That's when tingling starts, then numbness, then burning, then pain, then loss of balance. One of the most dangerous myths in senior health is that neuropathy suddenly appears out of nowhere. It doesn't. It develops silently, often for years, while the damage keeps building in the background. Let me ask you something important. Have you ever been told you're borderline diabetic or pre-diabetic, or that your blood sugar is a little high but not too bad? That is often exactly where nerve damage begins. Studies now show that pre-diabetes causes nerve damage almost as frequently as full diabetes. The difference? Most people with pre-diabetes don't know they have it. Here's the step-by-step process most doctors never fully explain. You eat something that spikes blood sugar. Your body releases insulin to push that sugar into cells. Over time, cells become resistant. Sugar stays in the bloodstream longer. Nerves, especially the long nerves in your feet and hands, are exposed to toxic sugar levels again and again. The tiny vessels feeding those nerves become damaged. Oxygen delivery drops. Nerves slowly starve. And because this happens gradually, people rarely connect the dots. They say, it came out of nowhere, when in reality, it's been building for years. So where does this poison come from in daily life? Source number 1, liquid sugar, fruit juice, sweetened coffee drinks, sports drinks, and even so-called healthy smoothies. Liquid sugar enters the bloodstream extremely fast because there's no fiber to slow it down. That creates sharp spikes that directly harm nerve tissue. Seniors are often told juice is easy, gentle nutrition. In reality, it is one of the fastest ways to poison your nerves. Source number 2, refined carbohydrates eaten alone. Bread, cereal, crackers, rice, pasta. Especially when eaten without protein or fat. These break down into sugar very quickly, and that sugar has nowhere to go, except into the bloodstream and onto nerve tissue. Source number 3, constant snacking. When insulin stays elevated all day, nerves never get a recovery window. This is why grazing is especially harmful for nerve health. Nerves need stable conditions to survive. Constant sugar exposure keeps them inflamed. Now, here's something most people never hear. Some medications can quietly worsen nerve damage by interfering with nutrient absorption, especially B vitamins. Certain acid-blocking medications, some diabetes drugs, and cholesterol medications can deplete B12 over time. B12 is essential for maintaining the protective coating around your nerves. Without enough of it, nerves become fragile. They misfire, and damage accelerates. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret had numb feet for years. Her doctors blamed aging. When we tested her nutrient levels, she was severely deficient in B12. The cause wasn't her diet. It was a medication she had taken faithfully for years. Once we corrected the deficiency, her nerve damage stopped progressing. Not reversed, but stopped. And that made all the difference. Neuropathy is rarely caused by one thing alone. It's usually a combination of blood sugar toxicity, inflammation, nutrient depletion, and poor circulation. But blood sugar toxicity is the accelerant. It is the gasoline on the fire, and nerves have a tipping point. Early damage may cause tingling or numbness. Later damage causes pain, balance problems, falls, and loss of independence. Once nerves die, they are extremely difficult to regenerate. That's why stopping the poison early is so critical. Now, let's talk about the part that actually gives you power. If chronic blood sugar toxicity is the poison quietly destroying your nerves, what neutralizes it? What protects nerve tissue? And what can you realistically do? Not as a medical professional, not as a fitness fanatic, but as a senior who wants less pain, better balance, and a future with more independence. The first and most important step is stabilizing your blood sugar, not aggressively lowering it, not chasing perfect numbers, just keeping it steady. Nerves don't need perfection, they need consistency. Every sharp spike in blood sugar is like a small chemical burn to nerve tissue. Fewer spikes, less damage. That alone can slow or even halt progression. And here is the single most important eating rule I teach every senior with neuropathy. A rule most people have never heard. Never eat carbohydrates alone. Not fruit, not bread, not crackers, not cereal. Carbohydrates eaten by themselves hit the bloodstream too fast. Blood sugar spikes sharply, insulin surges, and nerve repair shuts down. But when carbohydrates are paired with protein or healthy fat, absorption slows dramatically. The same food that harms nerves when eaten alone becomes far safer when eaten correctly. This rule alone explains why some seniors develop severe neuropathy, while others with similar diets don't. It's not always what you eat, it's how you eat it. Let me give you a real example. James was 74 years old. His legs felt weak and unsteady by early afternoon, burning feet at night, numb toes during the day. He believed he was eating clean. Every morning, he drank a fruit smoothie, banana, mango, juice, yogurt. What he didn't realize was that the liquid sugar was hitting his bloodstream before his muscles and nerves had any protection. We removed the smoothie, replaced it with eggs and vegetables in the morning, moved a small portion of fruit to later in the day, after a meal. Within weeks, his nerve pain eased, his balance improved, his energy lasted longer. Nothing magical happened. We simply stopped poisoning his nerves. Step 2. Eliminate liquid sugar entirely. No juice, no sweetened drinks, no smoothies. Even 100% natural juice is pure sugar without fiber. Fiber is what slows absorption and protects nerves. Without it, sugar hits fast and hard. If you want fruit, eat it whole, in small portions, and never on an empty stomach. Fruit after a meal is far safer than fruit as a snack. This one change alone can dramatically reduce nerve irritation. Step 3. Protect your nerves with the right nutrients. Nerves require specific nutrients to maintain their structure and function. Vitamin B12, essential for the protective myelin coating around nerve fibers. Many seniors are deficient without knowing it. Magnesium, supports nerve signaling and reduces cramping and twitching. Folate, works alongside B12 to protect nerve tissue. Alpha-lipoic acid, helps reduce oxidative stress in nerves and has shown real improvement in neuropathy symptoms for some people. Now, one important caution. More is not better. Some vitamins, especially B6 at high doses, can actually worsen nerve damage if taken incorrectly. This is why testing and professional guidance matter. Guessing can cause harm. Step 4. Reduce chronic inflammation. Inflammation sensitizes nerves and amplifies pain signals. It turns mild nerve irritation into severe burning or stabbing pain. Highly processed foods, refined seed oils, and excessive sugar all fuel inflammation. On the other hand, fatty fish, olive oil, vegetables, and spices like turmeric help calm inflammatory pathways. Less inflammation means quieter nerves. Step 5. Gentle movement. You do not need intense exercise to protect your nerves. In fact, extreme exertion can worsen symptoms. What nerves need is circulation. Gentle walking, especially after meals, helps lower blood sugar and improves blood flow to nerve tissue. Even 10 minutes can make a meaningful difference. Movement is medicine when done correctly. I want to share one more story. Eleanor came to see me in her early 70s using a cane. She felt unsteady. She was afraid of falling. She had been told her neuropathy was permanent and that nothing more could be done. When we stabilized her blood sugar, corrected her nutrient deficiencies, and removed liquid sugar from her diet, her nerve pain reduced enough that she no longer feared walking short distances. She didn't become pain-free, but she regained her confidence, and that is life-changing. Neuropathy is not just about pain, it's about independence. It's about being able to feel the ground under your feet, to react quickly, to trust your own legs. Once neuropathy progresses too far, the risk of falls rises sharply, and falls are one of the biggest threats to senior health and longevity. That's why timing matters. Tingling and mild numbness are not verdicts. They are warning signs, and they are signals telling you that something needs to change right now. Here's your simple plan for the next 2 to 4 weeks. 1. Remove liquid sugar completely. No juice, no sweetened drinks, no smoothies. 2. Pair all carbohydrates with protein or healthy fat. 3. Eat fruit only after meals in small portions. 4. Walk for 10 minutes after eating when possible. 5. Ask your doctor to check your B12 levels if you haven't recently. 6. Be aware of how your medications may affect nutrient absorption, but never change them without professional guidance. Observe what happens. Pay attention to your symptoms. Many seniors notice less burning at night, better sleep, and steadier balance within just a few weeks. Even small improvements matter, because they tell you the damage has not yet passed the point of no return. I want to leave you with this. Anyone promising a miracle cure for neuropathy is not being honest with you. But anyone telling you nothing can be done is also wrong. There is a wide space between those two positions, and that's where real progress lives. Neuropathy is the result of years of quiet, accumulated damage. It makes sense that improvement takes time. But stopping the poison is always the first step, and it is a step you can take today. If this helped you, please leave a comment below, hit the like button, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'm Dr. Julian Cross, and I'll see you in the next video.